Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wyatt Wrestling Talk. This is a special edition of WT Today. We got Wyatt news, we got Wyatt Six news, we got Uncle Howdy news, and we got the Wyatt Six news. If you can see where we're going with this, and there's some other stuff I guess to talk about, but what we mainly talk about is Wyatt's. So stick around because this is Wyatt Wrestling Talk.
Howdy, folks. This is Willow Nightingale, and you are watching Women's Wrestling Talk.
I would love to wrestle with somebody.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling network on the planet.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wyatt Wrestling Talk. As you can see, I'm Uncle Pharaoh, Uncle Councilman Pharaoh, no relation. And I wasn't supposed to be here today. TK had the nerve to ask me to come work on Juneteenth. I was at home with my feet up in my size 14 slippers enjoying barbecue. And then TK decided, was like, can you host the show? Can you host the show? I was like, I'm just going to talk about the Wyatts for an hour and a half. And she was like, you got to have more stories than that. And I was like, okay. And I also didn't know that I wasn't doing this by myself. Thank God, because I don't think I should be the only one at work. And I'm so glad that I have some of my favorites that are joining me today. First of all, let's from fresh off the road and about to jump right back on it, the most busy, one of the busiest men I know. That man, Mr. Jason Gray, is in the building. Jason, how you doing, man?
We're here.
We're here.
See what I did there?
Yes, I see what you did there, man.
I'm good. I'm glad to be here and a lot to talk about, but we got one more person with us.
Yes, we do. We got the lady of women's wrestling talk, and also the I don't know, we call her the auntie of Wyatt Wrestling Talk, since we already got a sister. You know, no, the lady of the Wyatt house.
There you go.
Miss Wrestling with Honey herself. Honey, how you doing?
What is up? How's that Uncle Howdy hangover, y'all?
I got knives in my eyes. My eyes are red right now.
Listen, like I'm just feeling really, really good going into this week. It's the middle of the week. Already so much to talk about, and it's just too much. It's just too much. I can't take it.
It's way too much, way too much. Shout out to everybody that's joining in the chat, man. Mike Spano, Special Little Nobodies, Dylan Matthews, Jeffrey Reimer. And we also going to have the mayor is supposed to be stopping in right now. I'm sure he has been quite busy after this past Tuesday has happened. And we're going to get into that too. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But I want to jump into our first topic that we have, and that is surrounding the good old Hardy Boys. As we know, Matt recently just came off of a loss after trying to get the TNA championship from Moose. No kind of chance of you defeating Moose. Matt Hardy made his return after getting jumped by a whole bunch of people in TNA. And now they are saying that they believe that the Hardys can get the run that they deserve in TNA. Now, that's a very loaded statement for one of the greatest tag team champions of all time to say. And I would love to get your opinion, honey, on just what does that scope look like as saying the run that they deserve? Like, what are your thoughts when you first hear that?
When I hear those words, I mean, let's be real. We're talking about the Hardy Boys here. One of the most legendary tag teams in wrestling history, pro wrestling history, period. And they have had quite a few runs, different kinds. You know, we've seen them grow up literally since teenage boys being in the ring, you know, from going to being jobbers to you know, putting in that work and, you know, becoming absolute workhorses and creating one of the greatest stipulated matches in history, which is a TLC. I mean, I think what the Hardy Boys are looking for when I hear that statement is I think they're looking for their final run. Like they're looking for that one last ride off into the sunset to put their stamp in, you know, on TNA, you know, and leave it leave it better than they found it or better than they were, in early years. But I mean, were they ever really? Did they ever really have that bad of a run? I don't think so, in my opinion, because I love the Hardy Boys. I've always loved the Hardy Boys, but yeah, I can't help but wonder that maybe that they're looking for that ride into the sunset kind of last hurrah for TNA,
Okay.
like a retirement from TNA or Hall of Fame TNA.
So Jason, paint this picture for me, if you will. Greatest tag team in the world. How if this is, let's say, the retirement run of TNA, or just in general for the Hardys, how do you see the Hardys riding off into the sunset and ending with the way the current world that we have for wrestling? Give me your what I call fan of fiction of how does the Hardys story end?
Well, I'm glad that they think that. I'm glad they said the run they deserve in TNA, because I don't think there's room for them in WWE right now. What TNA is doing with NXT, I wouldn't mind seeing them in NXT for a short time. But as far as TNA, now I watched the pay-per-view on Friday, and I have been saying for a long time now that TNA is the best wrestling show on TV. It's just not everybody can see it on TV because of access. And I know there's other ways now, but like the pay-per-view was really good. As far as the Hardys, I think everybody knew that Jeff was going to show up. So it'll be the system against the Hardys. They'll probably do some more weird Hardy compound stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if, I would love to see the system, the Hardys, Ace Austin and Chris Bay, maybe do I don't think they can call it TLC. They probably could call it a tables, ladders, and chair match. But I feel like with whatever they're going to do, and if this is the final run that they thought they were going to get in AEW, the way to go is just do what they do. These are the two craziest dudes in the game. I'm sure someone in the chat's going to say, no, there's this person and this person. But for what these guys have done and what they're going to probably do in this last run, I don't know if I've actually answered your question, Pharaoh, and I apologize for that. But
You did.
I just think it'll probably be they'll go through some of the TNA teams. I would love the NXT run, short 3 months, and go from there. But I was not prepared for the booking, but I think I got you. I got a baseline for the Hardys' final run in TNA.
Yeah, and I think you brought it to a more scope as you just put on of TNA run. So I think you made a good choice and selection of how they go with that. I think even to Dylan's point, you can say you can call it an LCT just to switch things up and whatnot. And so, and even to Dylan said like the AEW run could have been a lot better. So
a whole lot better.
Yeah, so I feel like they do need that redemption. Now, the mayor who's supposed to be here but is in the chats, he was saying, keep Matt far away from NXT. I'm hoping we can get a little bit more of his opinion on that when he does join us. But I agree with that. I wouldn't mind seeing them do an NXT run if we have the Hardys in 100% condition. You know what I'm saying? If Jeff is on the straight and narrow, if Matt is good, I would not mind seeing them go up against like Nathan Frazier and Axiom, or finally seeing them versus the Good Brothers. I don't think I've ever seen them wrestle in a tag match before. So I think you still have some of these other staples that have created themselves and could have an argument to say that they should be in the top 5 of best tag teams that could go up against the Hardys for one last run, as I think we mentioned in the last episode of how they did before when they went across the independent circuit, just grabbing titles. Not necessarily having to grab titles through here for like NXT and TNA, but that run of being able to take on some of these new legendary tag teams if they're at 100%. And that is very keen on if they're at 100%. But we shall see what the Hardy Boys do in TNA now that they're there. Still no official signing. They're still considered free agents. So we just will have to figure out what's going to happen. So Yeah. So I guess we can move on to the second story. Well, hold on, let me get some of these comments going. He said, Dylan says, he's putting plans in place to keep Roxanne out of his cities. Yeah. Oh, we talk about that tonight, Dylan. We talk about that, especially on Nobodies. I'm getting ready for this Kendrick show, but I had to check in with the WWT live first. And we appreciate that, little Nobodies. Thank you for joining us. Even if it's for a short extended time, we're glad to have you here. Jeffrey says the mayor is filing complaints on Roxy as we speak. Yeah. Yes, he is indeed. And we're gonna get to that a little later in the show. But next, let's talk about Xavier Woods. Now, from also being a part of one of the greatest tag teams of all time, from King of the Ring to still not really doing anything and just kind of being cannon fodder in the back and up, down, down. We now know that he is currently in the close to being one of the finalists in WWE's Speed on X. I believe this past Tuesday he faced Dijak and won against Dijak, and now will face either Nathan Frazier or Akira Tozawa. Whoever wins between that match will go on to face Xavier Woods, who will and the winner then will go to face Andrade for the Speed Championship. Now, with Andrade just being crowned the Speed Championship, how, Jason, how does this look for Xavier Woods' chances? Did they make Andrade a paper champion to kind of move it to here, or do we see Andrade continue a reign and Xavier Woods is back being Karrion Kross's B word?
You know, I don't even know where this Speed Championship sits in the pantheon of things. Like, if I feel like it's AEW Dark, you know, Dark was on YouTube. This, you know, it's on at noon on, I think, Wednesdays. All I know is I'm loving the story and the potential breakup that they are playing with on TV with Karrion Kross. You know, Kross challenged any member of the New Day. And just as Woods was about to step forward, Kofi cut him off again. Everything that Kross has been saying. Now, for the past 6 months, I've been talking about common sense Drew McIntyre. Everything he's saying is the truth. I think we start common sense Karrion Kross, and maybe the New Day finally breaks
up. I love who was ever in the back doing the graphics because they so petty. If you go back and watch that, it doesn't say the New Day lower card. It goes Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods, even smaller. I was like, wow. Oh, y'all petty. Y'all so petty.
Wow. I didn't even notice that. Wow.
And so that's why, to Jason's point, I feel like, this New Day thing is cooking. So let me ask you, honey, with him now going after the Speed stuff, kind of being solo, and it seems like both of them having a solo run, does it seem like it's the end of the New Day? And if it is, does it end on a well-hearted note, or does it end with him super kicking him on somebody's show and putting coffee through a glass?
I mean, you want to talk about something that we never thought, things that we never thought would happen in WWE. Never thought you wouldn't see Vince ever again, and never thought that CM Punk would return. You never think that somebody or something could break up the New Day because they've been such a staple together and so strong together for so long, and one of the longest reigning tag team champions of all time. You never really think about if that's even a possibility, even though they have made little hints of it here and there, or try, like years ago. But now with Karrion Kross, it just seems a little bit more evident that they're getting really, really tricky with this storyline and what they're doing with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. And judging by the statement you just made about the name being placed and stuff like that, that makes a very big difference. I didn't even notice that, but I think it's possible that we could see the New Day break up. You want to talk about things that you never thought would happen in 2024? Out of all the things that have happened already, and what just happened on Monday, anything is possible.
Yeah. No, I completely agree, and even some of the comments we got are just wow. Like, how did Dijak get on Speed and not Roy?
And you know what? I was gonna say that too. What, like, how far be it to have me book Xavier Woods beat Dijak? Like, I don't understand that. But and then you had Ricochet. You had this title. You know what I'm saying? And you built it around almost kind of like, I would say, the cruiserweight championship, somewhat, or yeah, like the speed championship, but for Ricochet, and you get rid of Ricochet to put on Andrade, to then what? Like you really think Andrade could lose that title? I mean, does he really even need that title? I don't even think he wants that title.
Yeah,
And I don't even have Twitter. God damn it.
yeah, and I think that's the other thing too. A lot of people just like, yo, we don't go on Twitter like that. But also too, it's just like I think of like what is the, like how you just said, does this title really matter? And even to like Ronell's point, it sits beneath the cruiserweight belt. And we saw what they did with the cruiserweight belt.
Yep.
So it's just kind of like, yo, like, what does this do for anyone that's there? Like, you know, as far as it being a belt that is in the history books, yes, it is in WWE's history. Like, I'm sure, like, if you go to the WWE site, that belt is right there. It shows you who's the winner and how many days they've been the winner. But it doing something for them has still been the question of, are we going to see that? And even to Dylan's point, when it comes to the New Day, they say we need something different. A breakup, not forever, is needed. Jeffrey saying, y'all see Xavier was a little bit annoyed when Coffee cut him off. Yep, kind of saw that side eye come up there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it said, the mayor says, we're not speaking.
I wasn't insinuating that they do, Mr. Mayor. I don't mean to offend nobody, but I'm just saying I'm not insinuating that they do. I'm just saying it's possible.
I am.
I don't want it to. I love the New Day.
Hey man, Xavier's trying to break from the shackles of the New Day, holding him back. Okay, he wants to be free so he can get him a singles run.
Some could say that. Some could say that too.
He does need it. I think. I don't feel like a necessary new. You know what it should have been? They should have done them like they did them a long time ago in the draft. When they split Big E from the
when they separated them. Yep.
Yeah. I think this would have been a good opportunity right here to either send Xavier to Raw, keep Coffee on SmackDown. Then that way we don't necessarily, you know, it's just a split. The New Day can still do up, down, down. It's still a thing, but it's just like, yo, we're on separate brands now. So we get a chance to, you know, extend the staple that is the New Day, but not just as a tag team, but as individuals too. Let's see. Jeffrey says, why Karrion got to stick his nose in New Day's business? I mean, you got to. You got to. Why not?
Karrion speaking facts.
He is.
Facts.
I was going to say, it's not like he's been wrong.
Facts over feelings, Jeffrey.
Facts over feelings. You think about it. How many titles does Xavier Woods have that's a singles run?
None.
Does he?
Well, wasn't he a U.S. champ?
No, he tried to get to it and he didn't win. It was in the tournament and he didn't win.
Oh, I could have swore he had a title, but maybe not.
No, he was so close to it and didn't get it. Xavier Woods has not seen gold yet. So it is just like, and compared to Coffee, who has been multi-time tag champ, intercontinental champion, United States champion, Coffee Mania. And you have to lift him up.
That was so great.
And you have to lift him up through all of that.
Mm-hmm.
When is it Xavier's time?
Right now is the time. And we can thank Karrion Kross for it. Opening his eyes.
The mayor say it's literally in their contracts that they won't split.
Contracts are made to be broken. I think that's the saying, right? No, I don't know.
I know. I was like, I don't know. You never know what the mayor be knowing.
Yeah, he yes, very true. Very true.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens with Xavier, if he will advance and dethrone the new current speed champ Andrade. But he still has to get between either Nathan Frazier or Akira Tozawa. So we will find out next week exactly what will happen. But best of luck to him in the WWE Speed Tournament. Now onto some adorable ass news. In a recent interview with The Undertaker had revealed that his daughter is interested in going into the business. She's only 11 years old right now, but Kaya Faith Calloway has been mentioning that she does want to get into business. And one thing that Undertaker pointed out in this interview is that she really is all about the business, not just the spectacle of walking down the ramp and, being, like in the spotlight, but she's actually learning a lot of the insides and outs of the back areas of the WWE, how the stuff works, and she's really been been gaining a real great perspective even at her age. So I just want to know from y'all, especially with second, third generations coming in, could we potentially see the Undertaker's daughter in WWE? And what is your opinion on if she should follow in the pathways of her father or carve out her own path and set her own staple? Honey, your thoughts?
Listen, it's so cute as hell. I love to hear stories like this too, and she's absolutely adorable. But I personally love this, and I totally think we can see a future women's champion on our hands being built via second generation superstar. Like duh. It would only be right, and if she wants to do it, and if you know what I'm saying, kids are so unique because you have to start young. You have to start them young. When they say they want to do something, you need to get them into it and support it. And she's 100% into it. I mean, I wouldn't imagine not being into wrestling. If my parents were wrestling, I'd be into it as hell. But apparently, from what I read, she even points out leg slaps.
Yes.
It's absolutely amazing. Like I think that's so cool. And I think we could definitely see a future women's champion on our hands, as I said.
I listened to that podcast. That was this week's Chris Van Vliet podcast.
Yeah.
And the leg slapping thing actually did make me laugh. I laughed a little out loud. And Undertaker hates the leg slap too. But look, she's 11.
Yes.
She's about to, get in. I'm sure boys are in the equation. Honey, you can attest when you were a young girl, getting into teenage years, everything you wanted at 11 could easily change by the time she's 14 or 15. But look, it makes sense. There's talks that Hunter and Stephanie's daughters want to get involved with the business. So look, we're going to get a whole nother generation off of, the Attitude Era generation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Let's do it.
That's so wild to just comprehend. Like all of these legends we know, and majority of them have daughters. So it's like 10, 15 years from now, we'll hear our children being like, yo, I cannot wait to go see Orton RKO somebody. And we're just like, Randy don't wrestle no more. Who you talking about?
Right.
Like, oh, I forgot his daughter wrestles. Or, yo,
his son or something.
Did Triple H's daughter just pedigree somebody? Like, it's just crazy to know, like, this next generation of folks we grew up with, their kids coming in and just being able to still hear those type of names being mentioned. And I also can see her being one of the most positive, sweetest characters, like complete opposite of her dad. Like she on the Bailey hugging route, but can still kick ass. Like I really feel
like Thea Hale.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
I think she could. I think she could totally, like, when she grows up, she could totally turn it around into a total badass and wear leather and ride a motorcycle to the ring. I would love that. I would be so into that. I would love that. But yeah, man, that's amazing. And if I'm not mistaken, I think like one of Shane McMahon's kids is an athlete as well. Like,
yes.
It's a beautiful thing, man. Just as the world turns, the wrestling world turns along with it as well, and it's a beautiful thing to see. We love to see it.
Yeah, and including Brock Lesnar's daughter.
Yes.
Also
please, Lord,
yes. Let's make
that girl's a problem already.
Yo, can y'all just imagine that though? Like the Attitude Era babies. And they are headlining WrestleMania.
Like Muppet Babies.
Yeah, it's like, like I just see the visual of that. Yeah, it's just
probably cool. WrestleMania 58-ish, give or take. So
yeah. But it'd be a great
your dad broke my dad's streak. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yes.
Yep.
That's so funny.
That'd be so
You got
dope.
you got
Man.
you got Seth and Becky's kid walking out with some lavish outfit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
Yep.
singing her song or something. Little Rue. Shout outs to all the kids, man. Shout outs to all the
Yep.
The
kids. We
Miz
love
and
to see
Maurice
it.
has 2 girls. I mean, it is weird how it's all girls for the most part.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Rock's daughter, she's in NXT.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, it's so crazy. Just like all of them are girls. And it's just like, I think too, though, it just makes you even more confident at the women's revolution and that you know it's here to stay. And so thank you so much, because I thought I was the only one who had to deal with these comments. Thank you.
I got you, brother.
Dylan Matthews, Wrestling Kids Battle Royal WrestleMania 58. That would sell. That would sell tickets real easy.
For the Dead Man Trophy or something like that. Or,
yes.
The Dead Man Battle Royal.
The Dead Man Battle
like
Royal.
crazy over here. I love it.
Yep. The 316 title. Oh, I want to see her do a tombstone power driver as a tribute. I want to see her do that, and then like the rolling eyes. Like I want to see her do this just one time.
You gotta love it.
Yep. Or even homage to her Uncle Kane and just puts her hands up and then drops them down and fire comes out. You're like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. Oh man.
She just discovered her power.
Yep. I would love to see that, man. But yeah, so but just shout out to being able to do something you love and to see it pour over into your children and them have like such a great appreciation for it. So shout out to them. We shall find out within the next 10 years if that's gonna come to true, or like how Jason said, you know, she might be wanting to be on a reality show in the next 4 years. We don't know what's gonna happen. So, but shout out to them. But let's get into some NXT news. All right, we got some NXT news. We'll be kind of brief about this. So we have a new number one contender after a 25-man battle royal happened at NXT. 2 weeks ago, Cody Rhodes came out, let them know about the battle royal, and said that anybody from any locker room could show up. And they did not disappoint, as we had 2 TNA superstars enter into the battle royal. Franklin, whose last name I always mess up, and I go Kazarian. Yeah, Kazarian, that's what it is. I'm so sorry. I just fuck up all names. It's not just
I only know these names because I hear Professor and TK say a lot of these names.
Okay. I'm glad you said it, because it sounds all right when you say it instead of me. And then the fan favorite, Joe Hendry, aka Bo Dallas 2.0, came out and was out here representing and was thrown out rather quickly in good fashion by NXT. I just want to know real quick, y'all thoughts. Jason, we'll start with you. Your thoughts on the two TNA superstars entering into this battle royal. How did you feel about it?
I thought there'd be more. Realistic 25. Like I really felt like there would be more NXT or TNA representation. And the Joe Hendry thing, I'm sure it was just a test, you know, to see what the reaction would be in a different arena. And who does to say that he doesn't take the place of someone who may or may not have survived Monday Night Raw and jump into their spot in the triple threat for Money in the Bank?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that is very viable, especially
with
that
the reaction. He got what they want, and I think that was just the test. That's why they brought him out. They threw him out, and maybe there's more to come with Joe Hendry.
Well, speaking of that, we did actually get something that may lead to that. So after the match was done, we got some behind-the-scenes footage on social of Joe Hendry confronting Shawn Michaels and actually stating that if you say his name, he could show up at any show. And Shawn Michaels' reply was, I believe. So, honey, what, like, to just even to go off of what Jason is saying, how does this shape out? Are we looking at maybe him going into a triple threat match, Money in the Bank? Do we see him maybe getting involved in possibly Logan Paul and LA Knight's feud for the U.S. title? But what do you see for Joe Hendry?
For Joe Hendry, I mean, considering that he got eliminated, I forget who. I think it was Frank Kazarian who
It
did
was Frank Kazarian
eliminate him.
eliminated him.
I feel like maybe this was like a little one-off just to, continue the surprises going on with opening that door. And which they definitely did justice. They wasted no time when they brought this guy out. And the place was shaking and everybody was singing his song. And I was just like, oh, so and as Dylan says, this is my first introduction to Joe Hendry. This was personally mine as well. I've heard his name everywhere, but never actually seen, and I actually never heard the song because I didn't get to want to hear it because I didn't understand it. But now I do, and I'm not gonna say I'm a believer and I don't believe in Joe Hendry, but it was very interesting the pop that he got, and I would consider that he's a heel in the according to NXT, but I've heard he's a face elsewhere. I'm not sure. You can play two sides of the coin all you want. He must be a Gemini or something, but but Joe Hendry, nevertheless, it was actually a really cool reaction from the crowd. It was like it was really really cool to see, and I was just like, okay, I understand. People are really behind it. So they I think they just got a really not a cheap pop, but they just wanted to keep bringing in those other locker room surprises. They just wanted to keep us intrigued, and it worked.
Yeah. Yeah. I too am like you. I don't believe in Joe Hendry just yet, but I'm not gonna lie. That music catchy.
That music is catchy as hell.
Yeah, that music got me.
It's catchy as hell. And I don't believe in Joe Hendry, but I believe. You best
I always am gonna believe
that.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, but look, if you can make Bo Dallas and a recycled Mr. Kennedy come together and make a baby, Joe Hendry is your guy.
He gave me Mr. Kennedy vibes. That's exactly what I thought when I watched it last night. I was just like, oh, okay, little Mr. Kennedy.
Just
or Anderson.
And a little sprinkle of Bo Dallas. That's it. Just let me throw a little in there for them to believe in me. So and then two, but we'll get to that because he also could have made someone upset and that is in a new family right now after stealing their former personality. But we digress. To just talk a little bit more about some NXT. Kalani Jordan defended her women's North American Championship last night at NXT against Michin and was successful in her defense. Great match between the two of them. I think a real good shout out to Michin. Michin has definitely been stepping up and showing why she should be considered a top competitor, could consistently be on TV. So I want to get from you, Jason, with her now having this successful title defense, how are you feeling about the direction of the Women's North American Championship? Are we moving into a good direction, or are you still kind of a little reserved on it right now?
You know what? Originally, I didn't think I was going to get into it, but like she's a fresh face and fresh baby face. So like, it was a good match, a lot of fun. And then obviously you saw later in the night where everyone was trying to, get the next title match. I think this is what's needed for NXT. I think that the women's division just keeps getting better and better and better and better. And now with Kaylani and Roxanne and, Cora Jade's on the comeback and Lola Vice and Sol Ruka. And like, it's a good time to be a member of the female roster at NXT, and Kaylani with a new title, a new face. I think it's a perfect step in the right direction.
All right. Honey, let me ask you now with her again, successfully defending it. And as Jason pointed out, everyone now coming for this NXT title. Who do you see being the next number one contender, and how do you see it shaping out, especially for the men just having a 25 man battle royal? How do you see the next number one contender being chosen, and who do you see being the next one to step up?
Well, we are on the way to heat wave. It gets hotter in the summer, which means things get more intense. There's a lot. What I do love about this division now is that there's so many opportunities for all of these women. All of these ladies deserve an opportunity, and they're all putting in that work, and they're keeping us engaged and watching every week because it just gets better and better. Like that, we actually have a women's division, not only in the main card picture, but we also have it for North American Women's Championship. And I think that's saying something because, you know, that women's roster just continues to grow back there. There's lots of contenders and people that could step up, but considering that Michin kind of got screwed out of her opportunity because Kaylani Jordan didn't even know that it was Miss Jada Parker who had come with the assist. And that's going to definitely be, I think she's definitely going to be the next person to step up and remind her, like, listen, mama, listen, little girl, I was the one who helped you keep that title for your first title defense. So you know what? You owe me one.
Okay. And then I do want to also get your pick though, Jason. Who do you see stepping up to be the next contender for it?
You know, I think Jada Parker is a good pick if we're gonna go heel versus face. Sol Ruka, you know, is obviously always a great thing, and I loved that when all the drama was happening in the locker room, she just grabbed her backpack and was like, "Peace, I gotta go."
Right, about her business.
So, yeah, I don't think we're going to get anybody from the main roster coming down. You know, I think that, you know, Michin she looked great in all of her appearances in NXT. And whether she's there to improve her career or help elevate the next class of NXT, she's doing that too. So I'm going to go Jada Parker or Sol Ruka. Yeah, and I definitely don't think anybody's coming down from the main roster for this, at least not anytime soon.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a title where because, you know, like she mentioned herself last week when celebrating her win, she mentioned that, you know, this is a first, you know, it's different when you're chasing the championship and it's different when you have it. And now to be the first to defend it and to successfully defend it. You know, she's creating history all on her own, even just by acquiring that title, and she hadn't even begun yet. But now this is where the real challenge comes because you have lots of other women who are going to be gunning for that spot. A dark horse also, because I forgot to mention my girl, Ariana Grace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes. I would love that. Now I do want to press on something that Dylan wrote. He said, I just need someone to take the title. Kalani is great in the ring, okay, sure, but her character needs something. So here's what I will say to that. And there's a line that they go where a title can make the man. And in this case, a title can make the woman. What she may lack in character, I believe she can find by being the women's North American champion. As we're seeing even with Cody when he's doing his stuff with AJ Styles, we saw that Cody can get down. We saw that Cody knows how to pivot. We've now seen Cody strong rather than always being this underdog with something hurt, something wrong, or going against him. And we're seeing him shape his character even more, even though, you know, it didn't need a lot of change, but we're seeing it help him transition more as a champion. And I think this is what can be done for Kalani, and whether that's going to make her to grow to be a better face, or if it's going to make her pivot like a lot of folks in NXT into a heel. Like we saw the champion do that with Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker, we knew was strong. He was great. He was given, you know, homage to the Steiners, but it wasn't until he became the big dog after losing the championship and being within that picture is what made him into this guy that we support, whether he is knocking people back in spears, throwing them through windshields, or anything. You still hear the barks, you still hear the wolves. So I think just like with everything else, man, we got to give this time to cook, man. This the cooking season. We got to let this prepare. So allow you know, Kalani to prepare, and I think that's what championships got the opportunity to do, rather than just putting them on somebody and it's just there. It allows them to create the character even more. So that's why I say don't sleep on it just yet.
Hey guys, I don't mean to cut short, but I got to bounce. I have another work call I got to take. Thanks for having the show tonight, everyone in the chat. Thanks for checking in, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one. Thanks.
Appreciate it, Jason. You take care.
Jay.
Bye, guys.
All righty. And then the highlight of the night for me was a battle, a three what it is, triple threat tag match. I can't remember who was in it, but I remember the highlight of that night. And that's when, excuse my French,
It was triple tag. It was a triple tag.
it was a triple tag between two other tag members, and Lola Vice and Roxanne Perez came out as the winners. And then
Jasmine Lynch, JC Jane, and
and
yeah.
then Lash Legend and the Meta Girls, the Meta Girls was in there too.
I can't.
but Lola and Roxanne won, and then Roxanne proved why she is our favorite, and why me and Honey were the winners last Tuesday when it went off, because she slapped the fuck out of Lola Vice. she put them 5 fingers to her face and Lola on the ground.
You trying to piss off the mayor. You trying to piss off the mayor.
Boy, you seen that boot she put in Lola's chest? Like, she was like, you better recognize who's the top woman in this division. I don't care if you done beat Shayna. Shayna ain't me. See Jeffrey, why though? Why we gotta be like that? Why we gotta be like that? We know what she ain't. You know Roxanne Small. Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta do that?
Oh my God, there's a lot of roasting going on in this chat.
JC Jane look like Catwoman in pink. Yo, she really do though.
Come on now.
JC Jane really do.
Let's be kind to the ladies. Let's be kind.
Just hey man, shout out to JC Jane though. And I thought it was dope though for her to have the mask, and then Cody to give him the undashing mask. I thought that was really cool. I'm just waiting on her to wear it. But we know now that this is setting up for Lola versus Roxanne. Now I want to know for you, honey. Do we get this at Heat Wave, or is this something that they should let cook a little bit longer and stretch this out to one of their more bigger PLEs that they'll normally have like on a Sunday rather than Heat Wave that's on a Tuesday?
I think we're going to get some back and forth between these two right into Heat Wave. I mean, you can't have a Heat Wave without bringing a Latina in the picture. And both of these beautiful Latina women are definitely bringing the heat with this rivalry. They are nothing to play with. Roxanne has proved why she's nothing to play with, and clearly Lola has too. She's the queen of the underground, and it's gonna be spicy. This one's gonna be spicy. This is gonna be real good too. I think it's gonna leave a really good lasting effect for the summer as well. I think this is gonna be one of Roxanne's biggest challenges, and it's gonna be like very consistent. They might do like a best out of 3.
I can see that. You know what else left the lasting effect? When she backhanded the fuck out her chest that night. Bah!
Oh Lord.
Boy, that Sea of Blue was upset that night. But yeah, so now honey, that's my question though. Next is Dylan saying, does with Lola having the heat that she had, like you said, the Latino heat, the heat from beating Shayna, as to show like, hey, like from what we talked about with Roxanne being here, the rest of the roster being here, Lola has definitely proven that, hey, I'm knocking on your door right now. Yeah. Gunther was impressed with that slap. Yes, he was. But do we see Lola Vice walk away with the women's championship when it is her time to face Roxanne Perez?
I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Roxanne has found ways of winning, in ways I wouldn't expect. And last night she kind of took a little bit of an advantage because Lola wanted to get the finish, but she tagged herself in. So, I mean, and she hit Pop Rocks, and basically the match was won. Roxanne is at the point where she would clearly, since she's regained this title again, she has clearly stated that she is not she's not letting go of that title anytime soon, and she's not letting anybody take it away from her. However, I do manage to think that would be a little bit difficult to do, considering that Lola Vice is one of the best women they have on the roster, and she's moving on up. She beat Shayna Baszler. Unfortunately, she beat our fave. She beat Shayna Baszler, but there's a lot to be said of Lola Vice. Especially, I'm starting to see more Seas of Blue every week on NXT. and people love it. You know what I'm saying? And she's a very gifted fighter. She's very talented, and she does well on the mic. I don't see why they won't put the strap on her. You know, maybe something could cost Roxanne the title. Maybe if Cora Jade is well enough by then, you know, maybe she interrupts the match and screws Roxanne and distracts her for a second, and Lola all of a sudden is our new NXT Women's Champion. And how about that for a freaking hot summer in NXT? That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
So
I can see that.
I think it's totally possible that she can take it from her.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, honey. I envision her, like Roxanne, making a mistake, getting distracted, and that kick coming out of nowhere and connecting with Roxanne and putting her lights out. Like I can definitely see her do it, because as we mentioned, as much as she has everything. She has it all. And now that she's shown it with the matches she's had, the match that she does great on the social media. She does great on the microphone. If there's anyone within the women's division that you can now shape the next title reign for, is Lola Vice. Lash Legend is great. The rest of Kalani Jordan is great. Even Jada Parker, all of them are doing fantastic. But Lola Vice has found a way to really get in her bag, from being entertaining in the ring, being entertaining on the mic, and being entertaining to the fans outside of the wrestling ring. So I'm with you. Lola Vice probably has the highest percentage of bringing the reign of Roxanne Perez to an end. But I'm with you, though. I don't think it's going to be the first time. If they do face a heat wave, I don't think it'll be a heat wave. I think we might have it where we get something when we're closer to SummerSlam.
Okay.
I think maybe something, whatever's going on during SummerSlam, maybe that's when Lola takes it. Because I'd rather see Lola get it at a main PLE for NXT. If not, I think is Heat Wave a PLE? Is it on Sunday or is it on Tuesday?
I'm about to look at that right now, actually. It's their 10th heat wave. It's in it's part of Money in the Bank weekend. So it is their
Okay. Okay. So well,
Toronto,
I mean,
that's right. July 7th. That's right there.
Okay. Well,
Money in the Bank pay-per-view. So you think that it might happen around SummerSlam season for Lola? That's what you're saying.
I want to say so. Or if not, she wins and gets a rematch. Because again, I don't see anyone taking on Roxanne. And I think Roxanne has kind of done every chapter that she needs to do as a champion. She's taken on a legend. She's knocked on the forbidden door. And as we said, there's no one really there. So the next thing there's
only that one. I'm sorry. There's only that one piece of unfinished business in Cora Jade. I think that is going to be her final.
But again, we don't know how long Cora is out. And so if she's not, and that's the only reason why that's my ending. I wanted to come full circle and Cora beat her. But I don't know if she's ready, if her injury is done. I really hope it is. And I hope for some reason, the distraction. You know what? I'd rather Roxanne beat Lola. So it's, again, so she can get another shot at it because she's
weasel her way out.
Yeah. And then
maybe there's a situation where Lola's about to freaking where she has her in a hold or something and she's about to tap, but the ref doesn't see it and she's tapping and then some other shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something where it's not fully clean. I don't want to see Lola get beaten clean. I need to see it to where it's she gets another shot, she gets another chance at it, because she was cheated out of it. But I do want to see Roxanne's title reign come to a full circle with Cora Jade, and hopefully that ACL is healing fast. I've seen her in the gym. I've seen her practicing with it. As I said in the chat, she was out in the arena watching the match. So fingers crossed we get our story and send Roxanne on a beautiful sunset full circle, since we didn't get it with Bray and Roman.
Quick side note, since we're finishing up on Lola Vice, this would be a good time to really quickly wish our elected official, the mayor of Vice City, Mr. Steady Said, a happy birthday. Shout out to Said. I want to see some happy birthday comments in the chat for our mayor, so make sure you do that. Shout outs to the mayor.
Yes, man.
Happy birthday, mayor.
I hope you had a knockout of a birthday, Cedric. I hope it was a chest slapping birthday for you. I hope it knocked you off your feet, Cedric. Your birthday. I hope it was great.
We like cake over here.
Happy
Well, man,
birthday, Sed.
happy birthday to our mayor, man. I hope you did enjoy your J man because you very much deserve it. And yeah, I think that's really just a wrap up on our NXT news. Now some news that we have. Goldberg has stated that he wants to do at least one more match before he also rides off into the sunset. And I kept trying to find the words
I
to
got
say.
them. I got the perfect words.
I think
This is bullshit.
that's honey reaction. Now you already know my
I'm not feeling it.
Right. Right. Like there's nothing else to be said. I mean, I want to ask how people feel about this in the chat, but I think I might already know.
So, but let me ask though. Let's humor this just a little bit. Let's humor this just a little. If he does one more match, who would you want to see him face in his final match?
That's the problem, Councilman. That's the problem, Councilman. I don't want to see anybody facing for no final match. I don't even want there to be a final match. I've gone on tangents about Goldberg on this show before. And if I have to go on one again, I guess I will. Sir, no, don't do it. Bill Goldberg. Do not do it. There's no need for it. You're already a Hall of Famer. You have nothing to prove. You've had a couple of final matches and we're just about done with your ass, okay? Just be happy in retirement. Be happy with the way your career went. You're reflecting on it in WCW. You reflected on it when you won your Hall of Fame ring, and there's documentaries of you and all of this and that. Why ruin it? Why do this to yourself? There's no point. Don't do this. You're old Berg. Sorry, Bill Goldberg. You're now old Berg. We love you. We appreciated what you brought to the Monday Night Wars because you did do your thing. But at the end of the day, we don't need you having one more match. We don't. It's bad enough Ric Flair wanted to have one more freaking match in his freaking 70s, 80s. I'm done. I'm just about done. And that's it. I'm done. Okay. I'm done.
Hey, you had to speak your heart, and I ain't mad at you. I do have one more match that I think Bill should have. I think Bill should have one more match. I think Bill should face Uncle Howdy. And I think Uncle Howdy should bury him. I'm talking eviscerate Goldberg and out of existence. Like, Goldberg disappears to never be seen again. Like, ever. No comebacks, no nothing. Like, it's done. Because remember how he screwed over Bray Wyatt at Super Showdown for the Universal title. This would be great to throw in the massacre and him be one of those victims. That's the only match I will accept Goldberg to be.
They should have the Firefly Funhouse be the Shield, and he's Ryback.
Yo, the way this water almost came out my nose. Yo.
I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
Yeah. And I felt it get like right here.
Councilman was drowning. He was drowning.
Hold on. Put that up. Get up.
Oh my god. Wow, that is sweet. That oh man. I love this show. I love doing this show and I freaking love my team, man. I just love this energy.
Oh
That
my
was.
god.
I'm so sorry though, Councilman. I didn't mean.
No, it's good. No, because when it's funny, it's funny. Don't ever apologize for being funny. Don't ever apologize for having great comedic timing.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Jeffrey. Someone should clip that. Dylan, I know you caught that. I know you caught that.
Please clip that. Please. And shout out to Dylan on the clip he made of me with the Scotland and man and Mel
Braveheart,
Gibson.
yes.
Oh my
So
god,
good.
bro.
So
Thank you
good.
so much for that. That was so good.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. If Oldberg, if it's
I
the last one,
yeah.
just let it be the last one, bro. I don't need you to
Please.
do that. And then 6 years from now, be like, man, I want to do one more. No. You're gonna make me do like them old black women at church. Not playing with you, little boy.
Yes. Yes. Do us all do us all a favor, Goldberg, and do this.
Go forward.
Go forward. Just go. Move on. Move on. I
Move
think we
on.
spend way too much energy on this, but anyway.
Yeah. We're gonna give me Goldberg versus Bronson Reed. Hey,
Squash him, bro.
Go watch him. Only time I'm on Bill Goldberg's side is in the feud with Bitter Bret Hart. And I think those two should have a final match, and both of them don't come out well.
Y'all are not putting my man Bret Hart in no ring. Y'all leave him alone. Leave him alone. He has every right to be bitter. Let him be bitter about that, especially when it comes to Goldberg.
Let him hobble and weeble his ass in there, man. But speaking of those times in WCW,
oh God.
Rarely do we want to talk about this, man, but Vince Russo is at it again. Now we know they just had the recent release of Who Killed WCW, and to some people's discussion, a big part of this would happen to mention and pointing fingers at Vince Russo. And in an interview, Vince Russo stated that he was a better on-air character than 80% of the WCW roster. Now, honey, I just what are your thoughts on this statement?
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to find what is that? I'm just trying to find an F to give when it comes to this mofo Vince Russo. I can't like you weren't meant to be an on-air talent. Like nobody hired you to be an on-air talent. I'm not sure where his head is. This man has lived in his own bubble for so long. It's like he thought he was a wrestler in a management position. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it showed because he had this guy has no idea what the hell he was doing. I didn't even see this episode yet, but I did see the quote rolling around online, and I was just like, you got to be freaking kidding me, man. Like out of all things out of pocket that you've said in the past, and now you say this, 80% of that roster could definitely throw you across the ring quite a few times, and you won't get up. You won't get up. Even the mid-carders, like, and the lower mid-card, like, you know what I'm saying? Like anybody in there had every right to F you up. And you want to say you were 80% better than the roster, dude? You weren't even. You were a booker. You're supposed to be the guy who makes the matches. You're not in the match. You're not a superstar. Nobody gives a shit about you. Nobody gave a shit. And I don't know. I feel like this is another thing that I'm gonna go on a tangent on. But if you want to ask me about who really killed WCW, he's definitely one of them. He's definitely one of them. I believe he legit had a hand in just doing terribly. Like he had no idea what he's doing. He still has no idea what he's doing. He still don't know what the hell is coming out of his mouth. I feel like this guy just talks shit just to talk shit, just to hear himself talk. And I hate that. Can't stand that. That's just me. Sorry, y'all.
No, you're right. You're right. And so here's my thing. I'm like, okay. Sometimes I like to bypass the headline. And I'm like, okay, let me understand what you're referring to. Now, to be honest with you, a good set of the characters on WCW was ass. So character-wise, let's look at it. Let's take out performance.
Character-wise, fine, but I'm talking about skill-wise, and you thought you were 80% better than the roster. Like what?
So again, let's even stick with character. So you mean to tell me that as a character, and as you said, you are a promoter, booker / character. When it comes to that, first of all, I don't remember your stint in WCW as a character.
Right.
I cannot think of a time where you had a defining moment as a character. Now, I know the defining moments are the bullshit you pull in the back, but I cannot think of a time where you as a character was like, yo, I remember when he did this. Now, if this was Eric Bischoff saying this might have some clout. If Vince said this might have some clout. If Tony Khan even said this, it's some BS, but I'd give him a little more clout way before I gave you. Sir, you are not even better than Herb Abram from fucking UWF. He did a way better job in the character that you played.
Mayor with the fighting words. Mayor got fighting words.
Hey, all I gotta say is this. Hey, remember when this happened, Cedric? Hey, remember when this happened? Remember when your chick Sea of Blue turned into some dark clouds? You remember that? I almost downloaded the video to play over and over again, just so you could see, because this what they did. This what happened to her, and they didn't show that when Shayna was fighting. Because I know Shayna backhand her a couple times. That's why her eyes was closed like that in the little match. They didn't want to say that. See, this is what happens when you push us, Cedric. This is what happens when you push us. That girl Cakes got flattened Tuesday night. Thanks to Roxanne Perez. I will defend my queen too. You were supposed to be out here.
Yeah, but it's your birthday, so it's okay.
I get it though. It's your birthday. You probably over there talking with them right now, letting them
Vice City with the constituents, plotting on us right now, bro.
Letting them know. You know how they be talking shit about you, man. That the councilman and the lady of WWT just be talking shit about you all the time.
I didn't say nothing bad.
I didn't say nothing bad. I just
you did.
What? What? Just what happened? I'm just talking about what happened. I'm telling y'all.
You're doing the current events. That's right. We just do current events. That's all we're doing.
I'm not biased at all. I even said she's the next NXT Women's Champion.
Mm-hmm.
But she got knocked out Tuesday. She got put on her butt. I just love the part. I can't rewind when she was like this.
Stop.
Like she couldn't believe it. Like, did you just knock me down? You gonna kick me in my chest too? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I can't. This is great. This is so
and even so, they got more character than you, Vince Russo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just. This is just another one of those. Like go. Sorry, back fist.
Sorry, back fist. Not sorry. Let know, man. I feel you, man. Talk shit on your birthday, dog. You have every right.
Yeah, you got every right. But she sure fell down though. Say it wasn't nothing. Say it was a that tickle blew her down though. I tell you that.
Okay.
but Russo, it's the same thing like Goldberg.
Right. Sit your ass down. Go home.
Go home, bro. But moving on to other news. The main topic of today. Oh my lord, man. I could talk about what was on Raw, and I'm gonna be real quick about it. Seth Rollins returned, looking very tan, must have had a great vacation. And we getting him versus what's that boy name from the Judgment Day? Damian Priest, El Capione.
El Campeon, hello.
Yeah, giving him a title shot and Money in the Bank. Just your quick thoughts on that, honey. Quick thoughts on that before we jump into this.
I thought that was amazing, and I thought once I heard that, that was music I was not expecting to hear. We had an exclusive Monday Night Massacre watch along which was so epic and so cool, and definitely one for the books for me as far as a watch
Yes.
along. And with WWT, it was so good. The energy was awesome. A few of the people in the chat were there, and we saw Seth Rollins, and we were like, "Oh, okay, oh, okay, this is how we do." Okay, even though he wasn't in complete, medical clearance, he totally was pretty vibrant and in a great mood. Love to see him in good spirits, and seeing that he's going through recovery pretty well. He was walking very carefully, very gingerly, which is good, which means he's not trying to overwork himself. He can finally relax, and he deserves to do so. But once I heard his music and saw him coming out, I was like, oh, it made me realize, first of all, how much I missed that damn music. Number
Yes.
one. Number two, the pop was insane. And number three, wasn't expecting him to issue out a challenge like that. I wasn't expecting that. And I wasn't, but this guy's a freaking mutant. He's a cyborg or something, because like athletes like him and Charlotte Flair, they heal like freaking mutants, bro. Like, it's like they're Wolverine. They just recover so well and so fast. But it made me also realize that we were going to have a very big night.
Yeah.
I'm like, you starting it off with Mr. Monday Night, and we hadn't seen him in a while. So what the hell is going to be happening tonight? And as we said last on Monday for the post show, excuse me, not the post show, the WWC live show prior to Raw, we mentioned that this Monday Night Raw could be quite chaotic, and it started at the very beginning when the intro was glitching. And there was just nonstop action everywhere. But shout outs to Seth Rollins for kicking it off, and it was freaking awesome. But we got to get into the picture before we go over time. We got to get into this picture.
We got to because this was a good Raw, and I feel like because of what happened at the end, I think everybody knew to step up and bring it on tonight. And I think just everything that they set up, from the Damian Priest and Seth Rollins facing that Money in the Bank, really giving El Capion a chance to really give himself a footing as being the face of Monday Night Raw. To be the man, you got to beat the man. Seth Rollins is the best way for you to do that, especially going, and if he wins, it makes it even more valuable when he faces Gunther. Io Sky advancing in the triple threat match to be in Miss Money in the Bank, as well as Jey Uso. We saw Chad Gable finally get split up with Alpha Academy, and maybe he shouldn't have done that too quickly, as we seen. But we can bypass all that. We can bypass all that because they told us a massacre was coming. And as Honey said, they showed it in the beginning, and I was a little weary when we hadn't seen much, and we were getting down to the final match, and I was like,
okay, it was like literally the last 5 minutes of the show, the last 5 minutes, and before the lights even happened, I was saying, I'm not really satisfied right now on the live chat. I was like, I'm not really feeling it right now. I don't know what's happening. We got 5 minutes left. And then that's when all hell broke loose as soon as I said it.
Yeah. At first I didn't know how they were going to pull it, how they were going to roll it off. But I remember watching the triple threat match, and I had noticed that the lights at the ramp were off. Normally, like, they have the Raw LEDs playing. And then I noticed, I was like, okay, wait, the lights are off back there. Like, why are the lights off? And then I figured it out when Braun Strowman came out, and they didn't show Braun walk out all the way. They showed that shot where he was right by the ramp coming, and I was like, they setting up. I was like, okay, they setting up. They set down. I was like, all right. They setting up for something. And it tripped me out because I just wasn't sure. And so this is just how good they did for this, is the fact that I want to play the last 5 minutes of Raw for all of us to witness. And then, of course, two of the Wyatt's biggest fans, we're going to sit here and discuss it to close this thing out. So for your enjoyment, if you didn't see it, you're about to witness that we're here.
Bro, Like I got emotional watching it all over again, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
dude. Yeah.
honey, you start like I man, just thoughts, reactions. Like where are you after seeing this?
Where I was after seeing this was jumping in this very room up and down like church stomping, banging my chair. The mic couldn't really read it because I was screaming that loud, but eventually it caught on, and it was just so epic. It was so good. It was so there were so many hints and tidbits and so many hints of Bray in there. Like it was all Bray, and to have such a cool concept come from one's mind, and for him to put it in a way where even his own brother could, with the help of WWE and Triple H and everybody in the back with creative and everything, to be able to help them do it justice and put it together the way they did was absolutely breathtaking every single step of the way, even down to the looks. There's he has on one glove on his right hand that says Bray on it, which I thought was amazing. Each somewhere in their items of like, say, Ramblin' Rabbits hammer is a tribute to Brody Lee, for the Bludgeon Brothers. And there's also a red circle in there. There's a red circle on Howdy's hat. You have the dreadlock colors of Bray Wyatt. Like when I saw the part that really got me, one of the parts that got me the most was Nikki Cross coming out. That is a moment. That is a moment. Like I was just like, dude, we need more of this kind of spooky, scary, out of the box shit in WWE. This is the stuff we were talking about. And I saw online earlier, there was a picture of the ones that appeared in Philadelphia when Bray returned at Extreme Rules, and then this.
Yeah.
This is a major upgrade. And I'm not saying that, I'm not downplaying anything that has come from this brilliant mind of Bray Wyatt, because everybody here would obviously know that I am one of the biggest Bray Wyatt / Wyndham Rotunda fans. And I just loved how it was done. The pop from the crowd was crazy. You kept hearing some people say, "Let's go, Taylor," because we all know now that that's Bo Dallas under there. And just to see him walking, like the first shot that they showed of him, the first shot with his arms stretched out, and he's just standing there, and it was a Bray Wyatt kind of stance where he like rocked back and he smiled and he was sinister, and I was just like, I'm not gonna cry. And I just kept screaming in my microphone saying, I love these Rotunda boys. I love these Rotunda boys, because for your little brother to do it justice and get it done on that first reveal, we can only imagine what's to come from this. I can't even fathom what could come from this besides the obvious of showing Chad Gable being knocked out in there. There's a few other faces apparently that are going around online saying that there were other superstars that could have been attacked in that smoke as well that we didn't really see. Apparently Gunther was one of them. I'm not sure how true that is, but I've been seeing it rolling around. But I like Taylor, I'm not even gonna call you Bo because you're not Bo anymore. You're Uncle Howdy. And Taylor, sir, y'all, Dexter, because I know that's you under there. Gacy and Eric Rowan and Nikki Cross. It was the name Wyatt 6 and how it's spelt. Like it just all lives up to the wonderful, beautiful mind of Bray Wyatt and the brilliance that he was. It was just such a treat. And for all of that to happen in 5 minutes, it felt like it was happening forever. And I was just like, it was like my favorite movie or my favorite song, and I didn't want it to end. Like after I got off the stream, I watched it in my living room on my 70-inch. I watched it in my living room, and I was like, I need to see this. I need to see it. Just watch it. And it reminded me of when we saw The Fiend the first time. It was just so different and so new and so fresh. They're here, y'all. So now what? That's the real question. Now what? And they are here to wreak havoc. Their sister put up a really, really sweet, emotional post on Instagram, on social media today, and the message behind it was beautiful, and how she described Bray, and how he would talk about these characters and how he would be how he was so good at storytelling. And this is what we need. This is what we need. And this is how you tell a story. This is how you bring a faction together. They've been keeping us engaged for weeks upon weeks upon weeks, teasing this return. And to see Taylor on the stage or coming out from backstage is awesome. He even has silhouettes of Bray, which was very emotional. But he looked so happy to be there. You know, like even though he's wearing a mask, you did see a smile, whether it was playing into the character or whatever. It was still a beautiful sight to see him finally come as his true self, as what we all know that is going to be one of the greatest factions in pro wrestling right now. It was just so good. Let's go to some of these comments, man, because I could talk forever about this, but I want to see what everybody else is thinking.
Yes,
the crew, indeed. Jeffrey says the crew was telling the crowd to show your flashlights for Jay's entrance, which helped. And if anybody saw the Raw exclusive interview that Jey Uso had after Raw went off the air, he clearly said, y'all can have them fireflies back. I'm sorry. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no problems. The way he was looking into the camera, I was dying. But it was great. I was just wanted to borrow them for a second. You know, they were working for me.
I didn't even ask for him. Like his wife said it was cool for me
it wasn't my fault
to use it. I didn't claim them like that. I was honored to have them, but they yours. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but hey, could that be some foreshadowing, being the fact that Roman and Bray Wyatt had history? Maybe that could be a factor that comes into play in the future, in the long game, obviously.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nice treat, says Boza. Appreciate it. And thank you to our esteemed councilman for pulling that clip up, because, you know, we love to see it. It's I think it has 25 million views on YouTube right now, and probably one of the most watched clips in the last 48 hours. Jeffrey said, if you see it, you must be living under a rock. Clearly, if you're here and you didn't see this, get out. Dylan says this won't get a copyright strike for this. I don't think so. I don't think so.
If it's we should be good. Like nothing to where it's like you're in trouble or anything like
Cedric
that.
said, Mayor says, awesome. Let me see. Hold on. Where am I? I lost my place. Darn it. Oh, also says, so happy for Nikki Cross because Nikki Ash wasn't appreciated. It wasn't appreciated, and it wasn't really well liked by me personally, but I understand it. And she went a different route and thought out of the box. But guess what? That's gonna be a factor in her storyline, you know, as we come to how this was created, came this way.
I think that's a factor in all of their stories. And I think that's just one of the things of this has so many layers to it, to where it, like, even in the 5 minutes, so much from redemption, setup, legacy, so many other words mixed all into one. Like, each of these cats have had a failed character that we had to see on TV. Mm-hmm. Eric Rowan, when they had him bring out that mystery, overlooked, when he had that mystery creature that he walked with, and it kind of just made him sink down. With Bo Dallas and then B Team, Dexter Lumis stuff, when, you know, like when he was trying to, like, the whole thing with him and Miz, and it wasn't connected. Joe Gacy and Schism, like, where that kind of just disappeared and didn't really go anywhere. And then just, you know, Nikki Cross, from just like it's there but not connecting after not having sanity there. Mm-hmm. So to have these people that are just like very much overlooking, it's just that one thing that needs to push them. Imagine it being embodying these characters that Bray created. And even going back to what you said about Extreme Rules when they were presented, that's also being them presented as those characters are just the shells, like the coffins, coming out of the fun house, coming to life and awaiting to take in the new person to fully be within this realm. And we now see it within them with these wrestlers. And then, like you said, like what really got me was you felt Bray through all of this. Like when I first saw Uncle Howdy, it was just God. Like I was just like, it felt like Taylor and Bray fused together. Like, I feel like that's not even Taylor right there. Like, yo, that is the both of them right there standing there with as Uncle Howdy, like just some kind of fusion. And this is the new Howdy 2.0. And to see him, and I was just like, yo, one, he looks 100 times better than the original, like, you know, stuff that they had. Don't get me wrong, I liked it, but you could tell it was just kind of like, we just got
it. It needed more. It needed more. It looked cheap.
It did look a little cheap. It looked a little Party City, but it was just like, okay, I know y'all getting there. Y'all getting there. But these do not. And to see all of them posted on their social, like Nikki Cross has posted it, Joe Gacy has posted it, Dexter Loomis has posted it, to let y'all know exactly who they are, so it's no misconception about it. And it's like everyone's saying it's so good to see Bray's vision not only come to life, but to show how it can continue, how it can keep moving forward, how if for some reason it's kind of almost like the Apocalypse and the acolyte and his acolytes, the whole four horsemen.
Yes.
If one falls, another can replace as the buzzard. Another one can have the spirit of the rabbit brought within them. And so here's two questions that I have. Now it is called Wyatt 6 as how it's spelled. But we noticed that, well, one, here's the joke, first part. We noticed a member might be missing. And a lot of people have speculated that it is maybe Alexa Bliss, maybe Braun Strowman. Some have even made a theory of the sixth member is Bray and he is within the lantern. But I have another theory at who's this mystery. And I feel like that person has been there all along. My boy R-Truth rounds out the wide six.
God, shut up. Stop it.
I knew it all along.
Stop it.
All along.
Stop it.
Boy, R-Truth.
Stop it.
It's a part of the Wyatt 6, man.
No. No.
You're lying.
Yeah. Yeah,
I just want to see this shot and then R-Truth just pop up just.
Oh, stop. Imagine he like joins them thinking that they're the Judgment Day, the new Judgment Day.
Be like, why y'all got on the mask? I didn't know nobody told me we was wearing masks.
Yes.
Y'all try to find a mask to put on.
I cannot.
And get a shirt. We here.
That's good.
We all here.
That's good. That's good. That's good stuff. We needed that one.
Print the shirt. Print the shirt now.
Print the shirts.
Print the shirt. One more R-Truth in the Wyatt 6. The Wyatt Truth.
Man, it wouldn't be a WWT live show without Councilman trying to make it funny, you know. That's just in his nature.
Hey, man, I love it, man. Shout out to R-Truth. But I do want to know from you though. Who do you think the sixth member is? And then I want that question answered first, and then this one, because I've been seeing this going around now a lot. With them now debuting.
Yeah, I think it could either be, I mean, there's a lot. I've seen a lot of the stories of it. Possibly there's theories that possibly that's Bray, and the Lantern is like the sixth member, and Bray's spirit is in the Lantern. But you know, if you really look at it, Bray's spirit is all over this.
Exactly.
So I would consider that, and a lot of people I think would agree with me in the chat. I would consider that Alexa Bliss could still be that sixth member, though it wouldn't. And hear me out. I know I've said around the time, SummerSlam, they're going to be in Ohio. She's from Ohio. I think she could return. But who's to say she's even going to have anything to do with this? She has history with two members of this faction already, of course, in Bray Wyatt and Nikki Cross as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if maybe Alexa Bliss won't be a part of this, and maybe that Lantern is this, maybe Bray is the sixth because they saved a space for him. but maybe we could possibly see a feud going on between this Abby the Witch, because that's not Nikki Cross, Abby the Witch versus Alexa Bliss, where she gets her revenge on her for leaving her behind,
Yeah.
leaving her stranded as a tag team partner.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then,
my Alexa was talking to me real quick because she heard me say it.
Like, what you mean she get revenge?
Right. but yeah, I mean, I think it could be one of those two. I don't think Braun's going to have anything to do with it either. I think they're all going to have history. All of these characters all have unfinished business within the company as well as the roster. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of history with each and every one of these characters. And so I think Alexa would be fine on her own as the goddess and return to being her old self. But I can't help but wonder and think about the last moment that we had Alexa Bliss and Uncle Howdy kept tormenting her.
Yeah.
So maybe they draw Bliss back into the Firefly Funhouse and recreate her into a more elaborate, upgraded Lily. So like they could always do something like that. But I think I don't know. I just know that this is probably one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in wrestling in my lifetime, and I'm just so happy to be a witness to it. Like, it's such a good time to be a wrestling fan, especially a Bray Wyatt fan.
Oh yeah. And I'm with you on that. So now my next question to ask you is, with them debuting, there's been a lot of questions of how to roll them out now. Yeah, Jeffrey, to your point, don't say her name too loud. That she don't be over there by that lamp no more. With all of them, though, having some kind of get back that they need that actually spans across all three brands. Even with Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis in NXT, some of them with SmackDown. At one point, like somebody even mentioned, Dexter Lumis is still married to Indy Hartwell.
Story-wise, apparently Indy Hartwell has posted up the word divorce on her socials. So,
oh shoot! So
as a recent.
So I want to know, to you, do they stick them with Raw, or do they move like free agents about everywhere? So I just want to know for you, what is the smartest way to roll them out after this debut?
I think they should. I mean, it wouldn't be a massacre if they didn't go over to all three brands, right? It wouldn't be a massacre then. They're here for the whole entire division. As far, we don't know anything about their contracts. We just know that Eric Rowan had re-signed with WWE. We don't know anything or any information about any of their contracts or what kind of signings they've had with them, or even if they're free agents and free to go wherever to each brand. I have mentioned before, we have seen QR codes pop up on NXT a couple of times. We have also seen it happen plenty of times on SmackDown as well. So I don't see why they wouldn't be going towards all three brands. They have beef with and they have unfinished business with lots of people.
Lots of them.
And that could even extend to corporate. That can extend to Triple H. That could extend to Adam Pearce as the postman from the Firefly Funhouse. There's so many layers.
Even NXT, The Rock's daughter, Schism.
The Rock, Ava
leaving behind Schism, and Joe Gacy as Pepper the Pig. There's so
Pepper
many.
the Pig.
Wait, that ain't his name?
Huskus the Pig. You thinking of Peppa Pig, Disney? Oh my God. Or Disney or Nickelodeon, whatever it was.
I had to babysit my niece earlier today. That's why. And she got
that's adorable. I love that.
And we kept saying that. That's hilarious. Like, if she walked in with that doll now, this is my new Pepper the Pig. You put that doll down.
I can't.
And you leave it here at the house. But I think to your point, honey, it's not a massacre if it's just on one place.
And Bo Dallas has been an NXT champion before. Eric Rowan has been the Wyatt family has dominated NXT. That's where they started. You know what I'm saying? And it could go anywhere, and it will probably go to each brand. I think for sure.
Yeah, I do too. Now here's my question too. I've heard a lot of people say that they won't need gold in this faction. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. They don't. I think everything that they've built is gold. You know what I mean? I don't think they need it. If they acquire it, okay, I'm not mad, but just don't do what you did with Wyndham and that Daniel Bryan match and that stupid Funhouse Seth Rollins thing. Like do more of the John Cena Funhouse match. Do more
Yeah.
of the when Bray Wyatt first returned and came to as the Fiend with Finn Balor. And the fact that he would torment and hurt everybody, they would turn into something else or someone else, or they would change, because we haven't seen Finn Balor as a face since the Fiend got to him.
And now that was what I was going to bring up, and I was about to ask you. Now, you made a good point about Alexa Bliss, and shout out to Dylan. Soul will be gold and everything. And technically, Dylan, to your point, it wasn't a black man shown first. It was in a row of three people. So technically, we saw three people first, and the black guy was just in the middle. So technically, he wasn't first. Okay, wasn't the first body. He was one of three of the first bodies that we saw. So I get where you're going with it, but yeah, just to be fair,
This ain't the Vince era no more. Just know that.
It was an equal massacre right there.
It was
when
an
it was
equal
shown.
massacre.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but to your point of what you said about Alexa Bliss, and even for me, I believe the same as for Braun Strowman. I don't think it's necessary for them to go back into the group. Now, what I could see is them bringing in someone else to add to fill out the full six. And I think one of those people could potentially be Finn Balor, added to the Wyatt Six, just because of where he is right now, how things are moving. And I know a lot of people have always wanted the next phase of like that demon and stuff, and what that could look like. And then and I'm still one of them. So just imagine that with Taylor and the team of Wyatt's mind behind that as well now, bringing that to life, I feel is one of the big ones. So I just want to know for you before we get out of here, who else could you potentially see outside of Alexa and Bray? Who could you see be another member that's brought into the Wyatt Six? And it can span on anyone. It can be from NXT, Raw, SmackDown. Even could be TNA.
Okay.
And
I'm going to fight all these urges, my brother.
Let me see. I had to think of a really good one. I mean, Finn would be ideal.
Dylan, besides Braun and Alexa, who else?
Besides Braun and Alexa, yeah. Why not Finn Balor?
That's starting to sound a little right, huh?
The demon unleashed makes sense. You put a little idea in my brain, a little light bulb just went off. I'm like, you know what? That wouldn't be bad. I'm not sure. You know what? I'm gonna out my husband. He texted me just now and said Logan Paul in my phone just to piss me off because he knows I can't stand Logan Paul. Please God, no, not Logan Paul, anybody but him. Maybe what about like the Decay members, or like even Rhea Ripley? Maybe she could leave, she'll be pissed with Judgment Day and just, go with the team that's about to wreak havoc on everything. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
But I feel like this is a group that has the ability to be able to change you the same way that Cross is kind of changing people's minds about their, about their situation, like how he's doing with Kofi and Xavier Woods. I feel like I'm you know what? I'm just gonna say Finn. I'm gonna say Finn.
top
Yeah.
slot right now. is
For
Finn.
some reason, I think that would be very top notch. That would be awesome. And then
think
we have been seeing the demon colors in the Judgment Day locker room lately.
Exactly. And we're starting to see that little rift that's going on between them, especially with Mommy not being there, Liv kind of becoming that, femme fatale in the Judgment Day, and Damien trying to stand out of his own, but also still prove that he's the leader. It's a lot of shaking and crumbling going in there, and I can just see Uncle Howdy talking to the demon and having him want to come out and stuff, and even too like that being one of the potential matches again, as Finn faced Bray's Fiend the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Finn goes up against Uncle Howdy, this new Uncle Howdy for the first at SummerSlam.
Imagine when this faction touches the bloodline. That's all I'm gonna say. Take all my damn money. I'm not gonna sleep. I'm not gonna sleep. Can you imagine for Uncle Howdy to get the ultimate redemption on the tribal chief? As much as I love him, I love my tribal chief. Everybody knows I acknowledge my tribal chief all day, every day.
We both
24/7, 24/7. But I'm just saying that shit's gonna be sweet. It's
and
gonna be sweet.
And you know what though? This was the missing factor that brings Roman, Jay, and Jimmy back together. Not just the new bloodline, because again, if we can get the bloodline Civil War Games at Survivor Series, excellent.
And then insert these guys at the end of it all.
And the fight really begins. And again, because you can make Roman a free agent. Roman can be just decide like, yo, I'm a free agent.
I think he is, because didn't he pull himself out of the
draft? They said he was pulled out the draft. It didn't say he was a free agent, because they said they didn't want him to leave SmackDown. So it's not fully declared that is. But again, too, like our tribal chief being the tribal chief, who's going to stop him from rolling up to Raw and having Jimmy right by him, especially too if the Wyatts start messing around with Jay on Raw. So I think it's just, it's so
good. It's so good.
Oh gosh,
it's so good. I just can't wait to see more. And I'm going to be patient now. They're here. I'm going to be patient now.
You think Gilbert is going to join the Wide Six?
Please, God, no. Please, God, no.
Liv just tweeted wearing Dom's merch saying, thinking of you with kissing faces. See, just breaking that dividing that wedge even more. Finn will bring Uncle Howdy to hotel room key, and Uncle Howdy will try to fight those urges.
You know what? Speaking of fighting urges, before we get out of here, there is one thing we got to do. Don't fight that urge to get that merch.
Hey, yo, you. Yeah, you that's watching this. You sitting on the couch staring at the screen, not knowing what you want to do, like this is an online college. Are you tired of wearing shirts that make you look like an extra stuck in catering? Do you want to step your wrestling swag game up to the next level? Then Women's Wrestling Talk has got you covered. Like literally. Are you for life in pink or black and white? Or maybe you're the EST and people need to respect you accordingly. Want to put some pride in your stride and show off the muscle in your hustle? Then make sure you check out the WWT store. Not now, but right now. Alright? What you waiting for? Head to wwtalkpodstore.com and don't make me fight you. Shit.
Don't make me fight you.
And get you some merch before they send Uncle Howdy after your ass.
Please listen to her. Please. I have to tell you guys every time. Make sure you listen to her. Check out all that merch on wwtalkpod.com.
Yes.
Support the team.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of merch, just because it's his birthday, make sure we see Seas of Blue.
Yes, every Tuesday, let's see Seas of Blue for our esteemed elected official. The mayor said for his birthday.
Yes, his biggest constituent. Let's make sure we get that Lola Vice merch up. But we know we got SmackDown coming up, but of course we'll do our Friday WWT live. Just before we get out of here, of course, honey, I want you to know where they can support you. But a couple of things, just want to get your final thoughts on them being here. And then before that, though, I just want to make sure that we give you your flowers. One, all like no disrespect to nobody else on this team, but when I have to host, and if I know Honey is here, it is so much of an easier ride for us to be on here. We, like she said, we make a great tag team. I'm very appreciative to Honey and all that she does, but also too a major shout out to her on Monday. She did a watch along for Monday Night Raw. Let me tell y'all something. 3 hours is a long time to do a show, especially by yourself. Not only did she do it, but she had over 200 people tuning in to this to watch her reaction to the Wyatt's return. So please, everybody in the chats, make sure y'all give hand claps, GGs, and flowers to the lady of WWT because she did an awesome job Monday. So shout out to you, Honey, and please let them know what are your thoughts or final thoughts on the Wyatt 6 and how can they support you.
Yeah, man, this is going to be a wild ride with the Wyatt 6, and I'm so here for it. You guys have been following my work, what I've been doing on the socials and all my Honey Pot predictions and everything like that, and all the talks that we've had on WWT Live, talking about all these QR codes and wondering what's going to happen next. With SmackDown, even with the QR codes, and they happen on site. You guys continue to be patient with me and supportive of our little obsession with the Wyatt 6, and you know what? I think it's safe to say that the whole world is obsessed with this group now, and they should be, because it's a beautiful group, and this is probably going to be one of the most innovative factions ever. Probably. Yes. Don't quote me on it just yet, but I'm just saying this is probably going to be one of the most innovative factions ever created. It was so well done. Shout outs to the whole team in creative, and shout outs to Triple H. Shout outs to freaking Taylor Rotunda. Y'all looked amazing. Y'all killed it. You definitely lived up to your brother's name, and you definitely are going to keep doing it, because if you guys presented it this way, we know damn well the storytelling is going to be even crazier, and I just can't wait to see where we go down this rabbit hole. It's just so exciting, and I love it. And I love you, all you guys in the chat, everybody chilling with me for those 3 hours. It was quite the time. You guys should, if you don't have enough time to watch all 3 hours, which I'm sure everybody's got other things to do, please try to watch some clips when you can, because there was some really, really fun moments there, especially those last 5 minutes. But yeah, you guys know already where you can find me here Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays with the WWT Live crew. 6 p.m., 3 p.m., depending on where you're at. Don't forget to check out Honey Pot Predictions on my socials, which I will get into in a second. I also do my watch-alongs for Friday, Honey SmackDown watch-alongs. So feel free to join in, and make sure you like and subscribe subscribe to all the socials. Wrestling with Honey on TikTok, Wrestling with Honey Instagram, Wrestling W Honey on Facebook, and like and subscribe to new YouTube, that Wrestling Honey podcast. And yeah, man. And I didn't get to do an NXT post show, unfortunately. Had to do a work shift. Your girl just got a job and shit, so she's making that money, making that hustle, and everything like that. But I appreciate all of you guys. Always love having to be here. I always look forward to doing this with you guys, and I appreciate y'all so much. Excuse me, my voice just like cracked there. Sorry.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And then shout out to everybody who was in the chat today. Joseph Boza, Dylan Matthews, Jeffrey Reimer, Eric Isaac, Special Little Nobodies, Ronell Tinsley. Let me just make sure I'm not forgetting anybody. The mayor, of course, dropping in here on his birthday.
Boy, mayor.
Shout out to the birthday boy, Matt Spano. I believe I said Eric Isaac. Just want to throw that out there one more time just to make sure. But man, thank y'all so much for jumping in the comments and being here with us each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to talk about wrestling, showing good love and being supportive. You can support me at my new page, the Cow YouTube channel. The Cow stands for Children of Wyatt. We're not talking the moo moos. We talking about we here. So go follow us, Children of Wyatt.
Shout out to our esteemed councilman and host for the day as well, for doing such a bang up job. Even at the very last minute, he held it together. I think I came up with a name for our tag team. I think we should consider ourselves the most electrifying tag team in social media. Boom.
You heard it first. You heard it first.
Mic
you
drop.
Heard it first. The most electrified team in social media. Y'all already know. Get the shirts ready. We need the shirts. We need the clips. We need it. All right. I don't know what our color is, but I want to see energy field of blue. That's the color we go with. We still workshopping it because I just heard this news, but I am down for it. But everyone, thank you so much for joining this episode of WWT Live. We're not gonna keep y'all any longer, but because we know AEW's Dynamite is starting right now, and I know everybody wants to go and catch that. So appreciate y'all time, appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you check us out Friday for WWT Live again, where we're talking about SmackDown and what's to come. We'll catch y'all next time.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at wwtalkpod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at wwtalkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk.